Hi everyone, it's me again. Today I thought I'd share with you a little health update. Now, ages and ages ago, you might remember that I mentioned that I went to see a gastroenterologist at the hospital, and they just sort of fobbed me off a little bit, saying that, here you go, have a bunch of laxatives, off you go, and we'll see you in like 6 months. Well, time has passed. It feels like a hell of a long time. It has been a hell of a long time, and I had my next appointment. So I thought I should probably tell you what happened in that appointment. So I wasn't feeling that optimistic about the appointment. I mean, last time didn't go that well, and I've never found over the last like almost 10 years of having gut related problems that GPs, doctors, consultants, whatever, have ever given me that much help. They've tried but kind of failed, and sometimes they haven't really tried hard enough in my opinion. So I wasn't looking forward to it, but I thought, well, maybe this is the time. Maybe, you know, one time it has to change and I'll get some answers, or I'll just have someone being positive and reassuring to me. So yeah, I went in, sat down, and it just reminded me of the last time that I went, really. So he sort of asked me about, you know, my symptoms and stuff, and I said, well, I've had a kind of change of symptoms really, because since last time I spoke to him, my sort of constipation side of my IBS was really, really bad, and as it has been sort of for the years and years prior to that appointment and stuff. But now I've kind of changed a little bit, and my constipation isn't the worst part of my IBS. What I find is that I almost regularly, almost every day, go to the toilet. It isn't the most pleasant, but I do go. So I explained this all to him, and he sort of noted this all down and was like, okay, so you're sort of sorted then. And I was like, well, no, not really, because although now I'm going to the toilet regularly, what I thought would happen when I started going to the toilet is that all my other symptoms would be relieved. So maybe I wouldn't be so bloated because I didn't have so much inside me. Maybe I wouldn't have the pain. But all of these things have kept on, and I've still got the horrendous pain, cramps, and bloating that I had when I was really badly constipated for like a whole week without going to the loo. So I told him this, and I don't know, it didn't feel like he was even listening to me. I gave him like examples of situations, like how after dinner I sometimes feel like I can't even leave the table and have to sort of bend over as I walk towards the sofa because I can't stand up straight. And it didn't feel like he was even listening to me. He just he didn't go, like, I don't expect a doctor to go, I'll paw you and pat you on the back and give you a hug, because that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be slightly removed from the situation, but just a little bit of care, or just a little bit of just like, oh, I understand, oh, that sounds bad, I don't know, give me some suggestions or something. And none of that happened. It was just, I don't know, it was so frustrating. He seemed to just think that, oh, well, you're not constipated anymore, so it's all good. And then what he said to me was, you know, I can't do anything for your bloating. I'll never be able to do anything for your bloating. And I sort of sat there like, well, I didn't really know what to say. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to deal with it then, because I've dealt with it for this long, so maybe I can just deal with it for the rest of my life, for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive, but however many years. I then said to him, I'm okay with some of the bloating and stuff when I'm at home. When I'm, you know, I've eaten a meal, and I get loads of pain and bloating and stuff, and I can go and sit down. But what about when I'm out with my friends or family and stuff, I'm at dinner? You know, I'm at a restaurant. I can't do that. So it's really impacting on my life massively, to the point where I don't really want to go out and stuff. And he said nothing back to that at all. And he just sort of looked around, sort of had a pen in his mouth, and was just sort of thinking, and then just said, right, well, you've had like a bit of a change in bowel habits, so we'll just send you off to have another endoscopy because there might be something wrong, which I guess I should be happy about, because it's a step forward. He hasn't just said, you know, like last time, here's a load of laxatives, try these and they might make you go to the loo, or just said come back in however long and see how you're feeling. At least he did say, you know, we're gonna put you on a list and you'll get a letter soon to say that you've got an endoscopy. So I guess that's a good thing. But for me, I don't know, I don't feel like anything's gonna come from that, because I do feel like the problems aren't something like physical. I think they're more functional in my gut. So I'm not optimistic about that either, but then after that he said to me, okay, so, you know, we'll put you on this list and you go and have an endoscopy, probably take months and months, but, you know, then he said, if we find something, I'll come back, I'll send you a letter and you'll come in and we'll speak again. If not, I'm just going to send you back to your GP. And I was like, well, just send me back to my GP to do what? What's going to happen then? You know, I'm going to go to the doctor and say these same things and they're going to be like, well, and go through these pointless things that they always do, tell me that I need to drink more water when I do, and all that. And then at the end of the day, eventually when I've pushed enough, I'm probably going to go back and see you again, and the whole cycle's going to start up. And that's just the thought of that, the thought of, like, I don't want anything to be shown on the endoscopy because I don't want to have some sort of real serious problem, but then I don't want to just go back to my GP because I know that's not going to, you know, solve anything. And I know that give it a year from now, 2 years from now, I feel like I'm just going to be in the same position where I'm in a lot of pain after eating food, any food in the whole entire world. I know what my triggers are, so I don't eat those things. But even when I eat things that aren't triggering to my stomach, having stupid spasms and everything, I still get pain. And I feel like this is just kind of never ending. And I feel like maybe that's, you know, I see so many people write on my videos and I see it everywhere that people feel like IBS is a never ending cycle that isn't completely understood, and I feel like that really, really is true. Another thing I did mention to him was maybe I could go and see like a gastro-dietitian through the NHS. I feel like there must be something. It's always food that seems to affect, like stress is massive for me, but food really affects me. After all my meals, I told him, I get all these problems, which means that I don't feel sometimes that I get all the nutrients that I really need, and seeing a gastro-dietitian who just understands, I feel would really, really help me. But he just said no, basically, which I was really, really disappointed about, and that's something that I went in there hoping that at least that could be the outcome and I could go and see someone else rather than him, someone who is qualified in the area of nutrition and diet and all that stuff. But doesn't seem like that's going to happen at this stage, unfortunately. And although I've been waffling on about this for quite a while now, explaining all this, I was actually only in there sitting down with him for tops 3 or 4 minutes. Like, he just wanted to get me out. He was very efficient, but uncaringly efficient. I've come away yet again feeling just not good about everything. I mean, I've got this endoscopy, but I don't feel optimistic that anything is going to change anytime soon. And I'm going to be left lying around, bloated, feeling sick, just feeling negative physically. It messes with my head and makes me unhappy and sad. It's just going to keep going, and I'm just going to have to manage it myself and sort myself out without anyone's help, really. So yeah, that was my appointment, and like right now I'm just waiting for this letter, which will take ages to come, so that I can get the endoscopy all sorted out. As for now, I currently am still taking my prebiotics, which is by Immuno, my probiotics, which is Simprove, and I think both of them, well, I know both of them are helping me in some way just to keep things a bit more, I think just keeping things a bit more regular, and it's really helped with that whole constipation side, and I don't really feel like I ever want to stop taking them because they actually have helped me. I'm not really sure what to do next steps wise, what the future is for me. Obviously this endoscopy, but properly what the future is, what will help me. So I'm thinking maybe going privately might be something that I should veer towards again. I know it's money, I know I don't have the most money, but really, money, health, I prefer health. I want health, and if I have to be a little bit poorer, so be it, because I think it's worth it. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's worth it? If anyone has got any suggestions, comments or anything, leave them below, because that would be nice and super, super helpful. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening to me waffling and rambling on about my health and how I'm feeling and my appointment and all that. But if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, yeah, and go up here and follow me on Instagram, because I do a lot of waffling on there too, especially on my Instagram story. But for now, I will see you next time.